Well, listen, every month, Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz takes time from his busy schedule to talk with us here on AM Buffalo about all the things that are keeping him busy this summer. So welcome back, sir. Nice to have you here.
Always my pleasure.
And it's been a busy summer for you. I was just mentioning all the festivals that are going on this weekend.
Lots of festivals going on, lots of things that we're doing in county government, especially in preparation for next year's budget. And we keep on working away.
Listen, we're going to talk about that in a second, but I think everybody especially will be pleased to hear that about the new Erie County Cultural Advisory Board. Getting the culturals funded was such a hot button last year, and now it looks like you're going to get a little help.
Well, what I did is reinstituted a process that used to exist. Rather than have the county executive make the sole determination on what organizations should receive funding, I created an advisory board of individuals from the community, from not only the cultural community, but banking, accounting, lawyers, to look at the finances, to look at the organizations that were applying for assistance, to make the determination on which one should receive it. They've basically wrapped up their work after some very, very time-consuming work for a number of weeks, reviewing the applications that we received in Erie County for cultural funding for next year's budget, and they're reporting back to me right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That seems like a very fair way to go. Talk to the people who are involved in all this.
Correct.
You know, because they are really, they know of audiences. They know of the appeal of a lot of these places. That just makes total sense.
Well, certainly it shouldn't be one person's decision as to which organizations receive funding. And the advantage is we have people from the arts and cultural community who can say, yes, these are organizations that are providing a worthy service. And we also have people from the finance community who are looking at the books, so to speak, of these culturals to find out if they actually have enough money in the bank otherwise to exist. If Erie County is the sole reason that they're existing from the funding that they receive, then that's probably not a strong organization that's going to succeed in the long run. So you have both of those types of groups come together, do the analysis, and then make the recommendations to me on organizations that should receive funding and those that should not. And there are some that did apply that will not receive them because this independent board determined that it wasn't probably in the best interest of the community to help fund those organizations.
But certainly more fair, you know, with more people, you know, are handling the entire project from beginning to end. There's a lot of people looking at it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Instead of having one person, you've got a board of 13.
We also have a phone number up if you'd like to talk to the executive this morning. County Exec 644-9840. Yes, give him a call by all means. But let's talk about the 2013 capital budgets projects.
We just wrapped up a group of individuals in county government, including legislators, myself, my staff, people from the various departments, an examination of what projects we're going to be doing next year. And that will be included in my 2013 budget submission to the legislature. We are actually doing a comprehensive approach. The one thing we've seen over the last few years is we stopped investing in our community by rebuilding roads and bridges like we really need to. So what we're doing is we're trying to sort of make up for a couple lost years. But we're looking at a grand scheme of areas. So it's not just roads and bridges, it's parks, it's assistance for cultural organizations. There was a recommendation to help fund one of the final phases for the Darwin Martin House, the Frank Lloyd Wright building in the city of Buffalo. There were recommendations, of course, to increase funding for our roads and bridges, and we're going to be working on some roads in Amherst and Lancaster and in the South towns that have been neglected for many years. We have a proposed borrowing for next year of approximately $39 million, but the comprehensive package will be over $100 million because of all the grants that we receive from federal and state dollars, especially with regards to our roads. So we're going to be doing more than $100 million worth of projects next year, but because of the way we've set it up, we're only going to pay for roughly 40% of that, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, it sounds like a good thing. We also wanted to let everybody know out there, of course, like I said, the phones are open if you have a call. The rabies clinics have been going on all summer, and they're going to continue on, it looks like, for right this fall in a lot of different areas around Western New York.
It's one of the most popular programs we have. It's free, so people can come and bring their dogs, cats, ferrets, as people bring ferrets, and get free shots to prevent their loved animals from getting rabies. We did it in the spring, we did it in the summer. Is one of the things we heard from more people, more rabies clinics. We work with our friends in the SPCA, we work with our friends in the veterinary community who help free. The next one's in September 5th at the SPCA in Tonawanda. Then we have one in Clarence on September 12th. We have another one in West Seneca on September 19th. So no matter where you are in Erie County, you have an opportunity to take advantage of getting one of your loved animals a shot, which is a wonderful thing because it saves people a lot of money and it helps protect the community.
It sure does, but that's the last thing we need is to see rabies come back. But the vets will advise you, please bring your paperwork on your animals as well.
Correct.
If you have any kind of a past health, and any kind of paperwork. They love to see that so they understand how this animal has been treated beforehand, okay? So that's all you have to know for the free rabies clinics. We do have a phone call for you, sir. Good morning. Hi.
Hi, how you doing, Linda Pellegrino?
Thank you. Well, thank you. Who is this?
George.
Hi, George. You have a question?
Yeah, I do. Hey, Mark Poloncarz, you're doing a great job for the county, and I'm happy to see what you're doing with the Buffalo Bills to keep them here.
Thank you.
And I voted for you this year, too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have a question for you. Now, as far as the Bills, how's the contract coming along?
All right.
It's moving along. I know Russ Brandon was on earlier with Linda, and we've been talking for months now. The state is an active participant. We certainly, I feel good about where we are. Every side knows exactly what the other one believes in and stands for and is asking for, so to speak. My goal is to get a agreement done by the end of the year, and I think we're on track for that. It's a complicated agreement, of course. If you look at the last lease, it basically was like this high if you stacked up the paperwork, and I wouldn't be surprised the next one's like this high. But my goal is to ensure that we keep the Bills in this community for many years to come, and so that they're not only enjoying the Bills-Steelers game this Saturday, but they'll be enjoying Bills-Steelers games in 2030 and beyond, and we're working on it.
And you know what? You have to make sure it's fair for the taxpayer.
Correct.
To be able to afford this team. It's great to know that, you know, more and more season tickets are being sold. This is all good for the future. But he's on the side of the taxpayer, too, and that's important. You got to have someone who's fiscally watching everything to make sure there's something for both sides.
Correct. We can't break the county's bank just to ensure, and that's why we're working with our partners in New York State, as well as the Buffalo Bills, to ensure that we have a stadium that's worthwhile for many years to come, but that we can afford.
There you go. Mark Poloncarz, as I say, he's a busy guy. He's got a lot on his desk, but he does stop by every month, and we appreciate that. Next month?
Of course, without a doubt.
Love it. All right, everybody, thank you for your question out there. We'll take a break, and we still have more to do, so stick around.